Hello, Drifty here. So I'm gonna go ahead and show you how I pack everything into my UnBound 40 Hyperlite mountain gear pack on the Appalachian Trail. So you can see how everything fits in here. You do make sure everything is unleashed just because it gives me more room to pack in there and get in there. So all the straps are loose and everything else. But I will show you the inside of the pack as I stuff it also, so just bear with me with the camera moving. First, the Hilltop liner bag. Like I said, it's more material than what I need. I tried out a couple of options. I tried out the Hyperlite mountain pods, and I actually used a ruler before I left, and this one seems to pack down the smallest for more space. I just go ahead and shove that in there inside just for extra water protection. Like I said, the bag is waterproof, but it sort of keeps a dry bag that I can pull out and throw in my tent and make sure my quilt and all that does not get wet. I throw all my extra clothes, my bra, underwear, pair of socks. I'm not using my winter cap or my gloves right now, so they go inside that waterproof bag. This butt is outside. It's a mess from the last video, so just bear with me. The Senchi goes in there, and I put my puff jacket in there in the morning. Like I said, I usually start out with my sun hoodie. My tank top is underneath. That I'll throw in there when I get warm. I don't even put it in the waterproof bag. I just throw it on top because I usually put it back on at nighttime. The puff jacket and the Senchi I don't even use till we get to camp if needed. Then I stuffed my liner in there. And then my quilt. I'm gonna stuff that in there real quick. And then by the end of the day, after hiking, this thing is definitely packed down more than when I start, just because obviously the quilt and everything is so puffed up, so it gets pretty squashy. And you can't really see in there, but there is a button on the liner. So I button up the liner bag, and I sort of just fold it over. And then it takes a minute, but I just squash it down to nothing. I'll show you how much room is left, even when it's still a little puffy. The weight of everything else on top will compress it even smaller once I put everything else in the pack. So, okay, just press it down a little bit in the morning. Usually I put the next piece of item, that big Hyperlite zipper pouch pod. I usually put that in next to my electronics. It weighs about 3 pounds, so that really squashes everything down. But I'll give you an idea of what all the clothing and the quilt and pillow and all that other stuff in there looks like when it's squashed, and how much space I have left. Let me show you. So it's not fully compressed, but you can see there's a whole lot of room in there. It's at the bottom of the pack, so it fills it all up. And it'll squash down more as I add to it. The next thing I put in, this is that pack. In the last video, this holds all my health and beauty, my medical, my gear repair, my cigarettes, along with my electronics is all in here. I don't use really any of that until I get to camp, so that goes in next, and that helps weigh it down. Nope, I did it wrong, sorry. I don't use my stove till I get to camp, so the stove goes in first. I told you I'm unorganized. I'm more organized on trail. So the stove just goes in there like that, right in the center, because that'll get squashed down in between the puffy jacket and the quilt and all my clothing and stuff. It makes more room. And then I squash down more to get that small Hyperlite pouch down. Then that's what that looks like in there right now. So I still have a lot of space. I actually flipped it over so you couldn't see, but I can hold the camera over it so you can see. So there you go. So there's still plenty of space in there. I try to keep everything below the framing of the frameless pack. My sleep pad. My sleep pad goes behind everything. It actually gets shoved down alongside my back. Elongated. Let's see if I can show you that without it spilling out. So the sleep pad just goes right up against the back. You can see it standing up. Then next is my food bag. So my food bag, which is the heaviest part of my gear, so it's still within the foam little padding thing that the Hyperlite bag gives you. That goes in next. Put that in sideways, and inside my food bag is my spoon and also my rock hanging bag, because I don't use any of that till camp, but I do take my bag out at lunch. And the rule is you want the heaviest item in your pack to be more towards the center of your back, not on the bottom and not at the very top. So that goes in there like that. I'm going to show you again. If you can see, there's still room. So that gets squashed. And then I like to keep my tent inside, especially that it's raining. If the tent is really wet, I'll put it on top of my pack on the Y strap. But for now, it'll go inside. So I can show you it fits in there. If I do swap out tents, I will definitely have more room in my pack. And then I like to put my gossamer pad and my little ground cloth that I use next. I think that's it for inside. So let me show you. So seal it up. Clip it up. Move that back a little so you can see more of the outside of the pack. These straps here, you just strap them down, pull them tight so it compresses. And then let me show you what goes everywhere else. So 10 poles go on one side of my bag. And there, I keep 1 liter of water in the side pouch, like that. And I keep my tent stakes also in that pouch there. And then on the other pouch, I put my other water bottle. And then usually I have a Ziploc bag, and that's all my snacks for the day because I can easily reach that when I'm hiking. So that will go in there. And my umbrella goes on this side. So like I said, if I eliminate the text, I eliminate the tent. I swap it out and get rid of those tent poles. So frees up some space and some weight. Phone, obviously in the phone pouch up here. That will go up there. Water bottle. Oh, I didn't fix that clip. Hold on. Let me clip that quick. I was gonna fix it after the last video. I did not. So the water bottle goes in there. The buff. I use this clamp here on the outside of my pack. Get it cut off. I just tie it right here on the bottom. And I can easily just remove the whole clip and hang it up in my tent if it needs to dry, or just keep it in there if I needed to use it as a rag or something, or blow my nose, I don't know. So that goes there. This is the Y clip. That's where my tent will go if it doesn't fit inside due to the amount of food that I have, or if it's wet so it dries out while I'm walking. The Y clamp. Side pockets. Usually keep my rain mittens in a side pocket. This way they're easy to get to. In the wintertime, I also put my gloves and my hat in there. All three of them fit in that side pouch. In this side pouch here, I keep my water filter so I don't have to take my pack off all the time to filter water. It's right there. It's accessible. And the extra caps in case the cap breaks. So that goes in another hip pocket there. Everything fits, and there's still more room if I want to put other stuff in there, but I don't have anything else to put in there. And then the back mesh couch. Softy is all messed up from being in a hotel room, so he stays on his own little cord. I got his little pet harness on to keep him on a separate paracord there. Shake kit that has to stay outside since I use that when I go potty. My sandals, I do not put them inside my pack because they're usually dirty, so they go outside in this mesh pocket. Believe it or not, this thing stretches super wide and I could fit so much in there if I had the stuff in there, but I don't have anything else to stuff because I don't carry anything else. And then my rain jacket. My rain jacket stays on the outside because it's constantly raining on this trail, so if I don't start with it because it's raining or I have to take it on and off, that goes in there also. That gets stuffed in the mesh pocket. As far as my hat, if I'm not wearing it, sometimes it's too sweaty to even wear it and my head needs to breathe even though the hat's breathable. I just clip it right on to the side of the bag through that paracord there. And that's it. The Garmin, my mini Garmin, that goes right above my phone pouch. So that stays right there. So as the day goes on, this thing even compresses more. So it's pretty packed up, but it's not really heavy. Like I said, 25 pounds seems to be my weight that I like to carry. If I can get it less, I will. But it carries nice with 25 pounds in it. My Versa does get strapped here through the hip belt. So I actually carry my Versa right there on my stomach so I can easily get into that. And it's got tons of room to put snacks or anything else that I need in there for the day too. But the pack is pretty nice. I can reach my side pockets. I can pretty much get out my own umbrella. Sometimes we have to help each other on trail with the umbrella depending on, I don't know, if it's raining. Or to put it back in. I don't know, my arms don't bend back like that, but I can get my own water bottles and stuff out, so. But that's pretty much it. That's all I have. The trekking poles, I tend to carry them if I don't need them. UnBound 40s do not have a place to put your trekking poles. You can either put them in the side, either or what I do sometimes is I will just stuff them right back here. They just sit back here behind me. So it's the easiest place that I found to put them because then I'm not trying to get them into the side pocket. So usually when we're walking, if I feel like I don't need them at all and I'm taking a break from holding them, we throw them back in here if I'm walking around town or whatever with my pack. They'll stay back there. Otherwise, I've seen other people take gear loops and stuff like that and add to here, but it works for me. But that's it. So that's the pack. So for everybody who wants to know how I'm doing the through hike with the UnBound 40, this is what it looks like. It's not that neatly packed. Everything fits that I need. And I have plenty of more room if I need to. If I need to get more in my pack, like I said, I use the Y strap and I put my tent right on top. But it sits below my neckline, which is good because I can look up straight up in the air. I'm not always looking down so I can stretch my neck out, but otherwise that's it. That's how I pack my pack. Any questions? Just be sure to comment. Don't forget to like and subscribe to my videos. See you later.